tell you that they have 3 pairs in the men's doubles in the top 6 in the world, and the former world champions of Go Sung-hyun and Shin Baek-chul are not in the lineup. That is an indication of just how strong Korea is in the doubles disciplines. Now, I suppose the big surprise when we look at that lineup is that Malaysia have split their top 2 pairs, because Go Vi-shem usually plays with Tan Wee-kyung, and of course former world #1s Koo Kiang-hyat and Tan Boon-hyung, also a regular partnership for years. But as you can see, they've split them up, and they're possibly hoping that because of the strength of Korea in the men's doubles, that a slightly different pair might just get an advantage, with the Koreans not being quite sure how to play against them tactically. But here comes the former world #1, Lee Chong Wei of Malaysia, up against the highest ranked player from Korea, Wan Ho. Well, Wan Ho has played both matches in the campaign so far. Of course, Korea beat Germany on Sunday, day 1 of competition, 5-love in that tie, and then whitewashed England yesterday by the same margin.
Oh, yellow.
Malaysia,
Red.
on the other hand, they've played 2 matches, won
Yellow.
2 matches, but Malaysia, well, they only beat England 4-1, and that's perhaps another clue as to why the men's doubles have been split up, because Koo Kiang-hyat and Tan Boon-hyung lost at the second men's doubles to England, and that is perhaps why they've mixed things up. The English pair they lost to were Peter Briggs and Tom Newfoundland. But as far as the top men's singles is concerned, there's no disputing who are the top players from these 2 nations. There is Lee Chong Wei, the 33-year-old born in Georgetown, Penang. Currently world #2, but he has, of course, been world #1. Now, he also, like his opponent, has played both matches in the campaign so far. Beat the left-handed Toby Penty of England on Sunday, and then Kai Schaefer of Germany yesterday. So to Wan Ho, well, today is his birthday. I make him 28 today. He's currently #9 in the world ranking. He has been as high as 4. Now, as far as his 2 matches, well, he was pushed quite hard yesterday by the #1 English player, Rajiv Usif. 21-19, 21-19, but it's still straight games. Now, as you can see, this is the 11th meeting between these 2 players, and Lee Chong Wei has an overwhelming advantage, having won 9 of the previous 10 encounters, including the last time they met, which was in the 2nd round of the recent Malaysia Super Series. 2 straight games it was there. So Hendrawan on the left as we look at them. Tae Soo Bok on the right, the 2 Malaysian coaches. And as far as Wan Ho is concerned, Ho Hoon Hui, the men's singles coach for Korea.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Malaysia, represented by Lee Chong Wei. On my left, Korea, represented by Wan Ho. Korea to serve level play.
So this all-important group decider. Korea against Malaysia. Now, Steen, I know I've tried to explain the importance of that, because whoever tops each of the 4 groups will be the top 4 seeds come the knockout part of this contest.
Yeah, and presumably a little bit of an easier way to the semi-finals, avoiding the 3 other teams that will top their respective groups.
Yeah.
really don't want to get yourself into really, really tough matches until necessary. So if you can get a relatively easy quarterfinal, that might give you an advantage in the later semi-final instead of having to battle it out with one of the other group winners. I think no matter who finishes on top of this group and who finishes second, the other group winners, they don't want to draw whoever finishes second from this group, either Korea or Malaysia. They will be a tough nut to crack in a quarterfinal.
Malaysia have won the Thomas Cup on 5 occasions. Korea have been in a couple of finals, 2008 in Jakarta, and the last time the Thomas Cup was staged here in China, in Wuhan, 4 years ago. It's just long. Lee Chong Wei has been in some astonishing form earlier this year. He's won 3 titles from 5 tournaments played. Malaysian Grand Prix gold event in his hometown in Penang, and the Malaysian Premier Super Series, and recently the Asia Championships here in China, where he beat the Olympic champion and the world champion in Dan and Chen Long back to back. Second time he'd managed to do that. First time, of course, was in winning the China Open last year, the end of last year. Challenge here from Wan Ho. No, that was in, surely.
On the line.
Yeah. KOR will adjudicate for us. Yeah.
Challenge unsuccessful. Service over. 5-2. Korea, 1 challenge remaining. Right.
Obviously, Steen, we've seen the head-to-head. This is the 11th meeting between these 2 players, and an overwhelming advantage for Lee Chong Wei, having won 9 of the previous 10. What is it that the style of Wan Ho doesn't really have the weapons to hurt Lee Chong Wei, or why that sort of head-to-head?
Yeah, he's a very patient player, Wan Ho, and that can be intimidating to a number of players, but not Lee Chong Wei, because he's so fast. So he doesn't mind playing longer rallies. He'll often be on top of the rallies and controlling it. So on another note, he's got the weapons to kill it on Wan Ho. So until now, he's had the upper hand over the Korean, and I mean, from the start here, he looks calm and collected as well. Actually, so calm in the warm-up and so on that I was looking a little bit closer whether he had some kind of back injury or something like that, because he didn't do anything more than necessary. But I think the Malaysian team are perhaps concerned about his energy use, that they want to make him save, conserve as much energy as possible in the matches. It's not just about getting points, it's also about getting easy points.
5-6.
judge.
Match this one, because we've had, for the past year, we've had the Olympic qualification period, and we've seen players excel at different tournaments. So we're not really sure, at least I'm not really sure where they stand. Are they at their best? Have they had their rest and so on? But these two are definitely amongst the best players. Chong Wei has, as you said, had a very good season. Wan Ho, I expected a lot from him 2 years ago, and he's not been able to totally live up to that, but he seems in good shape here, and if he's in good shape, then Korea is a real threat, because they've got two excellent men's doubles.
I was making the points that the former world champions, Go Sung-kyung and Shin Bek-chul, can't even get in this lineup as the third men's doubles pair. I mean, they've played both matches so far in the campaign.
Yeah. So Korea is, in many ways, the outsiders to take this title here, because they've gone a little bit under the radar, because you know they have two good men's doubles, but you don't really rate their men's singles as high as probably should if they really are targeting this tournament. They could be the dark horse.
Yeah. That was a run of 5 straight points for Wan Ho. Good defense.
That's a good call. We have to remember that Chong Wei is playing with the drift here in the hole, so he's not able to push his shots to the baseline, and he's probably the best in the world right now in playing playing with the drift, in my opinion.
You know, I was saying that he's had a great start to the year. Lee Chong Wei, 3 titles from 5 tournaments, but perhaps we ought to mention the 2 he didn't win, because he lost in the second round at the India Super Series, lost out to Wei Nan in 2 straight games. In the All England, where he was the number 2 seed, he lost out to Sai Praneeth, who we watched on day 1 of competition, didn't we, on Sunday? And that was a huge surprise. I mean, all credit to Sai Praneeth, but there are still occasions when Lee Chong Wei, when you think back before his suspension, he was
consistent.
He was very consistent. I think it was something like 36 consecutive Super Series semi-finals, at least.
Yeah. And had a qualification loss to a Korean player. He's not on the team today, but Hwang Hee-hyo.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, from a Malaysian perspective, perhaps it's a good change that at some tournaments you really don't get it right, but at the others you just win them and you beat the other good players. I think though that everything is concentrated on one particular tournament, and he's not satisfied if he loses out in the first round there. I think everything is starting to revolve around the Olympics.
Yeah.
And there's one special thing about the Olympics, that is, unless you're very, very unlucky with your draw, which is a group draw of 3 players in each group, unless you're very unlucky, you're almost certain to get through the group, because there's a big difference in playing level with the players qualified in the singles categories in the Olympics.
Yeah, it's by no means the strongest tournament as far as standard of players are concerned. A number of players will be in the Olympic Games who wouldn't be able to get into a Super Series, for instance. Oh, that's nice. So, just a 1-point advantage for Lee Chong Wei at the mid-game interval in the opening game against Wan Ho.
Walaupun gitu dia mulai buka. Kalau Chong Wei satu, wah dia boleh kunci. Locknya masih terus depannya sama. Tangkap. Mai dibuka ke sini bawah. Dibuka ke bawah. Pas satu ulang dia dia. Oh, di sini kalau itu.
Score 1, 20 seconds. Score 1, 20 seconds. Play. Service over. 11 all.
To me, to be playing with the same sort of urgency in his style. Now, you've already mentioned you had a close look at him and during the warm-up.
There was something odd about the warm-up, I think. I'm not sure. We'll see in the second game, perhaps. But from a positive perspective in this is that he's still almost level with someone who on the side where you normally have to work like a maniac to win the rallies.
Well, that's now on a perfect drop shot. Look at that. Just slicing across the shuttle, creating the disguise.
He looked very, very concentrated also during the coaching at the interval.
See, that looks a bit casual.
That's a backhand on the middle of the court.
Yeah.
But then again, the change in pace here, and I suspect that they're working on some of this changing in pace and not being so readable. Because I mean, both Chen Long and Lin Dan, they've played him a number of times and have a good idea on how his style is, and in order to do well at the Olympics, and that is to win the Olympics because he's already got 2 silvers.
Yeah.
Then he probably needs to come up with something extraordinary. But we saw also in the first match here, Malaysia played, was that against England?
Their first one was against England, yes,
Well,
and it was 4-1.
And he won his match 21-19, 21-19 against Raji Rusev, where, in my opinion, the scoreline doesn't really give the right picture of the difference in strength level these 2 players.
Sorry, just to clarify, when are you talking about Lee Chong Wei?
Yeah.
He didn't play against Rusev. He played against Toby Penty.
He played Toby Penty. It was 19 and 19.
No, 15 and 11.
Okay.
When Wan Ho played
It was
Rusev.
19 and 19. Okay,
Yeah.
then I'll just rest my case because it's totally fallen apart. I thought he hadn't won that convincingly, Lee Chong Wei, but I must have looked at the wrong results. Sorry about that.
There's 4 courts on, 3 sessions a day. We're trying to keep abreast of everything that's going on. Well, you had to keep me right yesterday. What was I wittering on about that was totally wrong?
I don't know, but I've made a note of it.
Missed it. Now you see 14 all, it's now 15, 14. But in an opening game, a group tie decider, I would expect one of these players suddenly now to try and up the intensity.
Yeah.
Because at the moment it's just sort of almost, and I don't mean this to be interpreted as it's going to sound, but it's almost as if they're going through the motions.
Yeah.
16, 14.
He's more or less said, okay, I accept your challenge, someone who will play it the way you want to play.
Yeah.
Read there by Korean.
13, 15, 16.
See, he's sort of emulating someone whose style of play.
Yes.
Service over. 17, 15.
Of course, there's pressure on Chong Wei in this match to win it. He's experienced that before in the Thomas Cup and sort of delivered. There's going to be pressure on him in the Olympics as well. And I think the goal for the Malaysian team coaching staff is to get Lee Chong Wei so much better than Lindan, Chen Long, Victor Axelsen, someone whoever is the challengers, to get him so much better that the nerves, the pressure that will inevitably be there
Yeah.
is not enough to make him lose. Because I think he was the best player at the last Olympics.
Yes.
He was just a bit more nervous.
Yeah.
And he's going to be nervous again.
Yeah.
No doubt about that.
Wasn't he 1917 up in the deciding game?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lost it to 19. Maybe it was 1918, but I know he was in the lead.
Service over. 16-18. Play.
That's a good one, Sean. Oh, my goodness.
Service over.
Well, the lift was so woefully short,
16.
and it had been forced by the quality of the net shots. How on earth did Wan Ho not put that one away? That's a dreadful error. Point opportunities.
Nothing wrong with that change of pace, and that makes me think that it's a deliberate, chosen playing style right now.
Oh yes, nicely done.
Service over. 17-20.
Of course, from the Malaysian team's perspective, I mean, Lee Chong Wei has always got to be your banker, really, hasn't it?
Yeah.
There's added pressure.
Yeah, it is, but I mean, he's been used to it over so many years.
Yeah.
And in many ways, that it's a team competition might actually sort of lighten the burden on him, because if he should lose, there's still a chance. It's slim, but it's still there.
Proactive in that rally from Wan Ho. Dictating the pace more.
Play.
That's right. Opening game to Malaysia in the form of
A Thomas Cup.
1 love.
Did do you have stats on that, Joe? You probably have. The Asian Games Team Championships, Korea won that recently. Did Wan Ho beat Chen Long at that occasion?
he did it in 3 games, 21-5, 22-24, 21-14. And then in the individual competition, lost in the quarterfinal to Chen Long in 2 straight games.
that's another sign that Chen Long has been struggling a little bit with this first men's singles in men's team competitions.
Yep. Yeah, we were discussing that yesterday, and you're absolutely right. That is Asian Games men's team competition is more evidence to support our theory.
It was played in Korea, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not an easy place for the Chinese team to play.
Three now. Play.
He's going to be playing the fourth match. Lee Chong.
Man, it's a bit early that he's arrived in the hall.
Yeah.
I would expect him to leave the hotel when this first men's single is finished.
Oh! Oh my goodness, was he called a fault?
Service over. 1-5.
Yes, he was.
I was about to say, what a brilliant shot. Oh, what did you think?
I don't think there was a fault, but I can understand why the ref called it, because he didn't have the opportunity of watching it in slow. Had to make an instant decision.
Yeah, it's a tough job. I wouldn't want it.
A little bit like Chong Wei is playing with some restraints in this game, that like his coaches have told him, hey, see if you can win it, but you're only allowed to speed up 5 times in every game. We could say the same a little bit yesterday regarding Lin Dan playing Lucas Clairbeau. But I mean, there's a difference in playing strength to the Frenchman and to this very, very skillful Korean player here, Wan Ho. So it's not easy to beat.
Service hold. 6-3.
It's also a little bit scary for the opponents if Chong Wei can win and still have all this speed that we know he has in the backhand and ready to kick it up again. It's not very usual to see someone who commit that many mistakes. That's often his weapon against the opponents, that he gets so much back that he's making mistakes. But Chong Wei isn't really trying anything that someone who can feed off and play counter-attack with. So he has to go for it himself.
so far. At 30.
7-3. Play.
I wonder if a player like Wan Ho, I mean, I'm sure the coaches don't sort of discuss where they think their bankers are, but the players will know, they'll be aware. And I wonder if Korea and Wan Ho, perhaps in his own mind, has sort of said, well, we know we've qualified for the quarterfinal, our bankers are the two doubles. There's a real strong possibility of the second men's singles and maybe the third men's singles as well. And therefore, you know, you've mentioned that he doesn't normally make these sort of errors, whether that's sort of not at the forefront of his mind, but he's aware of that, and therefore is
there's more chances.
Yeah.
Yeah, possible. Possible. I'm looking very much forward to see the second men's singles, because I think Malaysia have a better card there than most people would suspect.
Yeah.
Got injured earlier this year, and that might have set him back. But I thought Iskandar Zulkarnayan, that he is improved. We saw that when he reached the final against Chong Wei in Malaysia Grand Prix Gold.
That's right.
6-8.
Beat Shrikant in the semi-final to reach that final in Penang.
Yeah.
He had a really good tournament. Zainuddin.
The following nation are familiar with the group stage of tennis cup, men's singles, Chinese people versus South Africa.
Elevation.
Wan Ho, Chinese Taipei.
9-6.
Ho, South Africa.
Oh yes, like that.
8-9.
That backhand there from Chong Wei, that's a little loose, but quickly punished by someone who very precise.
And it's that sort of backhand from Chong Wei that's prompting us to make these comments that he's not at full pace at the moment, because that looked a little bit lazy to me.
Yeah, but he sometimes makes them even though he plays really fast. But I was just watching the shot quality of the other shots, and it's been really good.
Landed just wide, but the control to
9-all.
play that net shot just over. Gasp from the fans. Look at this. Oh yes, I'll just. It was just wide.
You don't get it any closer than you know it is.
He's just won 7 of the last 8 points, Son Wan Ho. There's the speed you were talking about. Follow up so quick to the net after the smash.
Yeah, in many ways, Chong Wei, when he's getting ready to serve or receive, it's reminding me of a lion walking around in a cage, really wanting to fire on all cylinders, but trying to stick to another plan.
Well, only 1 point in it, as indeed it was in the opening game. But in contrast to the opening game, the advantage with Korea here in the second.
What's a Thomas Cup final?
Well played, well played.
What would be interesting, Steen, because we've been talking about the fact that Lee Chong Wei hasn't really been playing his normal aggressive style, is to see his smashes today and compare it to Son Wan Ho.
He hasn't smashed a lot.
No, exactly. That's the whole point.
And I think from what I've seen, he's mainly smashed straight, except from his backhand side, where he's got a lot of cross smashes. That means that he's not mainly smashed straight, he's smashed more or less 50-50 cross and straight.
Well, I noticed from that previous stat that I only counted 2 or perhaps 3 yellow shuttles which are unreturned smashes. Well, there was one of them. Either of there appear to be a winner from Lee Chong Wei, or he gets them back over into court. Deflected by the net.
Service over. 14-12.
And we talked about it yesterday when Dan was playing at a quite low pace, that it sort of hurt his defense and his retrieval of close drop shots. And I think it's the same for Chong Wei. I think someone who has killed more smashes or produced return shots from Chong Wei that are killable from the net than he normally would if the pace was higher in the game.
Yeah.
So the readiness to dive for the smashes is suffering a little bit, in my opinion. But then again, if he saves so much energy, by not playing fast all the time, then it's understandable. This was a very good example that this smash was hit from the middle of the court, so it's more or less a kill from the front court than a smash, in my opinion. Still, they can be hard to put away when you're playing Chong Wei.
Indecision.
That's a good shot.
I suspect this might be the longest of the match.
One of the goals, in my opinion, is also to be aggressive with his lift when he's playing up against the drift. We saw Sony Kunkoro do it so brilliantly at the Singapore Open.
Yeah.
He's really, really a good wind player. Understands how to utilize the nature of the drift.
17-14. Play.
So even though they're like your one of the 2 or 3 best players in the world, there's still something you can pick up from others.
Yeah.
14.
In many ways, a good match for both of these 2 players to have here on Tuesday, because they'll have another match yesterday, but they won't be having...
No, they've got a day off.
They've got a day off tomorrow.
Yep.
That's even better.
Yeah.
So, and then they play the quarterfinals. So they're sort of... They're in gear, so to speak, that they have been playing good opposition, both of them. So they're ready for the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you've met lower ranked players and only played lower ranked players, it can be hard to adapt to playing strong players again.
Yeah.
19-14.
2 points away from getting Malaysia's first point on the board in this group tie. Force the short lift with his quick play. And now 6 match point opportunities for Lee Chong Wei and Malaysia. Oh my goodness, a little topspin there on the defence.
Yeah.
Service over. 15-20.
It's landed in. 2 straight games, 21-18, 21-15. 49 minutes for the victory. And Malaysia